Hi, welcome to another review here at Total Toy Recon. My name is Bob, and as you can see, we're doing something about Lando Calrissian today, but what exactly are we doing? So, I just thought to give you some scale and scope. I mean, I put my hands in here, they're obviously enormous because of the angle of which, and the zoom out that I have, but here we have a Kenner Power of the Force Lando Calrissian in Skiff-Guard disguise. Here we have the more modern vintage collection Lando. Both really decent figures, favorites of mine. As you can see, I picked him up at Ollie's for $7.99. Wish I would have bought an army of them because that's all they had at one point. Now all they have is Rays. And what's left is our Star Wars Power of the Force Special Collector's Coin Lando Calrissian. This is made by Gentle Giant. This is an enormous figure. An enormous, I'm talking from foot to the top of his head, he's about 12 and a half inches tall, which is gigantic. Now, Gentle Giant has been doing this for several years now. It's become like a staple of theirs to release a lot of these figures. I'm going to zoom up just a little bit. Sorry you're seeing all of my light box. But here they even have the card unpunched. Not exactly as it looked for scale and scope with an original, vintage collection vintage collection style figure, but very, very close in essence to the original figure. I apologize. I have been digging through my entire collection. I actually have the original Kenner release of this figure, still have the coin. It was one of the last Star Wars figures I ever got because the line was dying out. G.I. Joe was becoming more prevalent in my collection anyway, and it was just a really cool figure, and I'm so glad that I held on to him, and I really wanted to do like a comparison. I cannot find any of my Power of the Force collector coin figures. I have the Imperial Gunner, I have Luke on Endor, I have one of the Ewoks, and I have Lando. And Lando was awesome because you could take the cape off. Here, as you can probably almost see, they have a little bit of Velcro. There, it was just a hole. And Lando could fit in the Falcon. So it was like the ideal figure. My brother had 9 nub, and we were set to go. I did, in all of my digging around and through my collection, found the Walmart exclusive vintage collection Lando Calrissian. Now, not bad face-wise. Now, this is the 375 Black Series figure. Just want to show you the scale so you're not thrown off. But face-wise, pretty good. This is a more realistic face. This is, I think was good for its day. I'm thinking this is like 2015. This is around the time right before I think The Force Awakens. This might even be just last year, if not the year before. But as we are here to talk about this Gentle Giant figure, I've got to say, I've got the Darth Vader. It's gigantic. I've got it hanging up in my room. It's fantastic. It's a great thing to display. There's a lot of styrofoam on here. It's a great thing to display because you never really have to take them out. You can just leave them in there as the figure that you would buy and just, you'd buy the original one of this, you'd put it in a plastic container, you'd hang it up, or you'd get it graded. These are awesome. Now, you can remove it by removing this tape here and just sliding the card out. We've got tape on all the corners. I wanted to show you this. This is great because this is collect the jumbo figures, collect them all. So they're really going through the line here. I'm going to bring this a tad closer just to show you. We just did Vader not too long ago. He was great. But Lando's number 39 in the line. Now, there was originally 72 figures, so they say, 72-ish. Some counts, depending on the country, there's 72 original Star Wars figures. Some do not count, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to zoom in here. Some do not count. I'm going to pick this up too. Some do not count the blue Snaggletooth, number 34, which is here, Snaggletooth Blue. He does have a real name. And some don't count Yak Face either. So there's more than that. There's still more figures to come. And as you can see down here, we've already added the Mandalorian to the line. And I know that they have made Ralph McQuarrie-style Darth Vader figures of Luke and Darth Vader. I'm sorry, Ralph McQuarrie-style figures of Luke and Darth Vader. So this line, if you're not collecting it, first of all, woohoo, fantastic. You've got time. You can still jump into this line and be a part of it and collect these big figures. And if you think about it, it's easier probably to do this than it is to try to collect the more modern waves. There's figures coming out all the time. They just released a special Disney Cruise only figure that you can buy on the ship. I mean, talk about when that hits secondary market, that thing's going to go through the roof. But these Gentle Giant figures are great. They're very, like, real, like, awesome, as in, like, look at this awesome piece in my collection. And I just noticed, too, and of course, Gentle Giant was willing to do it. We have 2 Boba Fetts here. We have, so there's more figures. See, again, I'm pointing out, there's more figures they've added to the line. We've got a regular Boba Fett here, number 27, and then we have the rocket-firing Boba Fett here. So we've added more figures to the 72 original wave in the Gentle Giant line. It's a great, fun wave to collect. Now, bring Lando back. I'm going to bring into the coin. These were awesome, and I love these because they're just so unique. It was such an interesting thing to do at the end of the Star Wars line, to bring this collector coin. Yes, it's one more thing you have to worry about: his cape, his blaster, and now his coin. But I never knew anybody that traded these. At this point, Star Wars was on its way out. It really was a dead duck on the toy shelf. And, you know, it explains why I ended up with numerous figures of, as I was digging through all of my figures, trying to find this Lando. Here's Crix Nadine, and I swear to God, I have 3 of them. Why I would have 3 Crix Nadines, and you know what? Let's go all out here. I have a 4th one. I know I have more of these, but this era of toys for the Star Wars line, I mean, he didn't even come with a gun. He came with a pointer stick from his, like, little thing. And, you know, it's an awesome figure. I mean, you could pop this head off. You could do lots of different modifications and molds. You can make new figures out of these guys. You know, you could just repaint the head a little bit, too, and get some other guys in here. Funny how the one in the bag has the worst colorization. But this line was really dying out. They were making some figures, and that's why guys like the Anakin figure of just Anakin Skywalker and Yak Face were just kind of, you know, they've become the most sought after for collectors because we didn't ever really have a chance to get them. Lando here was one of the last good figures to not sit on the shelf. Crix Nadine, on the other hand, was a figure, woo, man, did he sit on the shelf. So I'm just going to say again, this is a great piece to your collection. I'm not going to open it. We know what he's going to do. I mean, he's a 5-point figure. He's just 12 and a half inches tall. This is an Endor Han right here. Again, like I said, I was really digging. But these Gentle Giant figures, fantastic piece to your collection. Really a nice gift if you have that character that, you know, would really just appeal to that Star Wars fan in your life. Personally, for me, Power Droid. I don't know why, but if I had to pick one that I don't have on the line, in the big style, I would say Power Droid. It's just so unique and it's so different and it's quintessential Star Wars. Every kid had that figure. I have a blue Snaggletooth, so, you know, I don't really need one. A Jedi Luke, I think, would probably be my next one, and I actually have an original Kenner Jedi Luke in the package still to this day. So, thank you, Gentle Giant, for sending this out. Love this little touch here of, man, this thing is so big. I love this little touch here of the proof of purchases. I still find these from time to time in boxes. You know, it'd kind of be neat if you actually offered one where people have to cut out like 10 of these and send them in with the receipt or something. I'm sure a lot of fans would figure out a way to print them on the right style of paper and send them into you, but it might be fun. Again, Bib Fortuna, that's another great figure that I would love to have in a giant set. All right, I want them all. What am I saying? Hammerhead, you know, and I love the fact that they didn't really add their new names. You know, like we know Hammerhead now as Manda Wandamon or something like of that nature. Blue Snaggletooth has a name. Walrus Man, Ponam Baba, you know, not there. You know, it's just Walrus Man. So I love that they've updated to put Yak Face on here that are rocket firing Boba Fett, but we've kept their original 37 Forlom. Should be Zuckuss. Now here, this is funny. The misprinting of this packaging, Zuckuss and Forlom, their names are correct. So that's interesting. Wow. All right, so I'm going to analyze this a little bit more on my own. This is Bob from Total Toy Recon. You have a good afternoon.